So I wanted to tell you more about the variety of stems. And today I have this chart to show you. There are different kinds of stems, and some stems are extremely lazy, where they can climb other things to get to those perpendicular rays of the sun. We call these climbing stems. And there are different types of climbing stems as well. Some climbing stems can go around another one, and they just go around another one to get close to the light. And because of this, they receive the name twining stems. But there's another type of climbing stem, and this has different hooks. And with the hooks, it can hook onto each other, and we call these hook climbers. Examples of this would be, for example, a blackberry, or another example could be this right over here. You can see roses. Roses are an example of this, okay? And if you also notice, I don't know if you can see, but this, for example, like right over here, ow, you have to be really careful. Ow. If you notice, this is another way in which stems can protect themselves. We learned a lot about bark and how the bark is used to protect the plant or the stem of the plant, or the stem of a tree. An example of how roses, the stems protect the roses. They have these thorns as a way to protect the plant. I wonder, there are so many things in nature. For example, when I think about human beings, and one of the things that human beings sometimes, what we have learned to do, what our bodies have learned to do in order to fight off infection is, for example, we'll develop a fever. And fevers are actually a way in which humans can actually protect themselves from infection, because the fever is trying to fight off that infection. Another example, for example, we have these over here, this chart, okay? And if you can see, I want to tell you a little bit, two more types of stems, or two more types of plants, okay? And they're also really lazy, that they attach themselves to the top of trees. It's like they're parasites. Mistletoes are an example of this. But there's another type of stem, and it's the laziest of all stems. And this one has no leaves and no roots, and it grows on another plant and sucks the food from the plants. Okay, these plants do not need to make their own food, because they actually take the food of others. And this is actually, they are known as dodders. Dodders are an example of this type of lazy plant or stem. And the thing about dodders that's really interesting, remember I was just saying with the rose has developed a way to protect the stem. They have these thorns. Well, dodders are actually kind of like a parasite. And a lot of times when animals, they don't necessarily eat, when they eat dodders, they don't really die, but they can actually get really colicky and get sick. And so sometimes when eating the way that the stem or the plant is protecting themselves, they'll give off a virus, and the animal could get sick. And so there are so many ways in which nature things in nature, like plants and even people, have developed ways that we protect ourselves. So this is another something that you can also explore today, just the different varieties of stems, whether it's climbing stems, you can explore dodders, you can explore erect stems. What's an erect stem? What's a twining stem? What's a climbing stem? Have fun.